I'm Pete Fiutak for CampusInsiders.com. We are breaking down the 2014 Boise State Broncos. It's a new era. Chris Peterson gone, Brian Harsin in. Here's what you need to know to be an expert.
Oh, you're a clever one.
The schedule to start off the season a little bit daunting, kicking off with Ole Miss, but the defense might be good enough to help pull off the upset. They lose DeMarcus Lawrence off the front line, but the secondary should be among the best in the Mountain West. The offense has some problems on the offensive front. They lose Charles Leno along with a couple other key starters, but Jay Ajayi should be one of the best running backs in the Mountain West, and this should be an explosive attack. Now here's Doug Chapman with who his key player is to watch out for.
You got that right, Pete. It starts up front with that offensive line. My surprise player is Marcus Henry. He'll be moving to center for Matt Paradis, who's now in the NFL. He was right guard all last year. They only bring back 2 of 5 starters from last year's offense. They've got to find some cohesiveness up front to protect Hedrick and open up some lines for Jay Ajayi. They're going to have a rough season if they can't get things working up front. Now let's take a look at the schedule.
It's all about that game against Ole Miss to start off the season in Atlanta. If they can win this game, it's not like it's smooth sailing the rest of the way, but if they're good enough to beat the Rebels on the road, they're good enough to beat anybody else on their slate. They get the biggest games at home: San Diego State, Fresno State, Utah State. They're all coming up to the blue turf. So if they can get by Nevada on the road, and if they can somehow pull off that win to start the season against Ole Miss, Boise State's going to be in the national discussion all season long. All right, Doug, your pick for Boise State is?
Choose wisely.
Pete, they could go 11-1. If you look at the schedule, they start off with Ole Miss. They play Ole Miss at the Georgia Dome. Might be almost like a home game for the Rebels, but the schedule goes down a tricky one at UConn. They should win it, but it's unfamiliar territory. They get Fresno, BYU, San Diego State, and they end the year with Utah State. The one thing about those games, they get them all at home. If they can start off good against Ole Miss, you're right, they will be in the national discussion.
11-1 might be a little bit lofty. If they can do that, all of a sudden, we're talking about them in college football playoff discussion, which could be really, really interesting, but a lot depends on beating Ole Miss to start the season. I'm Pete Fiutak for Campus Insiders. Keep it right here. We're going to break down every Mountain West team.